Talk about a video I never thought I'd do, but I put an Instagram poll and I was like, yo, what jewelry brand or spot you want me to buy something from and do a review on? And the majority of the people picked Trax NYC, which I have a troubled past with. So I did buy something, it's already here, and I'm gonna hit y'all with a little bit of a story time. Let's roll my motherfucking music so we can chat and unbox.
I'm kind of a big deal.
Listen, morning, my beautiful peoples. You know who it is. This is your boy, C to the U to the B to the A. So I'm gonna put a timestamp right here where you can fast forward the video if you wanna go directly to the unboxing. But if you wanna hear the steps and the process that it was to get this item and my story and experience with Trax NYC, stay tuned. So I wanna say it was about 2015 or 2016. Before I even started this channel, I was going on to my jewelry type phase. Never did I think I was gonna do reviews on the fucking YouTube, but here we are. So Trax NYC has been around for a long time and the popularity has been super big, and I gotta give them props where props are due. This isn't gonna be a hate Trax NYC or that kind of video. I'm gonna be very diplomatic and give you my honest, true assessments and experiences. When it comes to websites and variety, there's very few websites that can compete, have the variety and inventory and stock that they do. As far as their layaway processes and all the shit that they got, it's few and far between that can accommodate that type of shit and have the e-commerce that they do. So living in New York City and the Diamond District being as accessible as it is, although there's mad schemy shit going on in the Diamond District, I jumped onto Trax, and the first purchase I believe was a 7mm, 7.5 inch Miami Cuban link bracelet. This is before I found Daniels, before any of this shit started. I was looking for a Miami Cuban link with a box lock. So I ordered the bracelet. I actually did it, I think, on layaway. I got the bracelet, not even thinking about sizing or anything. I got the 7mm bracelet and it was tiny as fuck. It was and wasn't what I wanted. Cool presentation, it came with the appraisal shit, which was all dope and handy, but it wasn't filling the void that I wanted. So I ended up selling it secondhand. The experience and transaction on my first one was super easy, straightforward. Again, I did it through the layaway process. Once I paid it off, I was able to pick it up, no problem. Now the second purchase is what left me with kind of like a bad taste in my mouth. So I was shopping around for a chain. 7mm, I believe it was, 24-inch Miami Cuban link. I went through Trax. I believe I financed it through Trax. I got the chain. The transaction was super easy back then, and the process is still super easy now, just jumping forward a little bit. I got the chain, and something fell off as soon as I got the chain. It just didn't look right. And I started doing my homework on Cuban links and looking up videos and getting different details here and there, and really started falling into the fucking wormhole of, did I get something of quality, or is my intuition and what I'm seeing kind of playing a part? Truth be told, it was. The Cuban link did not pass that hang straight test that we talk about, which a lot of people don't give a flying fuck about, but this one actually mid to the bottom really coiled hard. Not only did it coil hard, but it was consistently kinking, and not just kinking to the point where I couldn't even shimmy it out. Usually when you get a bad kink, you can kind of shimmy it out and pop it back in without flipping a link or anything like that. This one was kinking no matter what on the chest, any kind of slight movement, kink, horrible. Not only that, in doing research with other jewelry brands, especially in Miami, the prices were significantly cheaper and they made them in-house. I don't know what the process with Trax is right now. At that time, I believe it was a VIP Cuban. VIP supplies a bunch of fucking people, and they still do to this day. And kind of when they're pumping out the amount of kilos that they do, the quality kind of falls through the cracks. That was the case in my chain. Now here's when it becomes a little bit sketchy. When I reached out to them to voice my concerns, I reached out to them to the online chat. It was, we'll pass this along to the sales rep or whatever, and we'll have them reach out back to you. The follow-up wasn't there. So it ended up being that it was a couple of times that we'll have someone give you a call to follow up with you, and then calling, advising them like, yo, we're supposed to get a call back regarding this particular item and my lack of satisfaction with this item and what we can do as far as trading or whatever. Oh, okay. And then, this person is away. For some reason, the name Danny rings to mind. I don't know if that's a person that's there. That's what comes to mind. A person named Danny who's a boss or whatever will give you a call back. He's away or he was sick, something like that. That story resonates in my head. I can't be 100% accurate. I'm just trying to go off mental. So it was back and forth. I didn't get the callbacks. Finally, after 2 weeks, Being frustrated and calling a couple of times, I finally get a call back. They were like, yo, come in, we're gonna make it right, blah, blah, blah. So I go down there to the actual storefront location, which is still currently there. They had a booth once you walked into the right-hand side. There was a female sales representative there, and I was explaining the hang straight, the coil, the kink, and they were kind of looking at me like I was crazy. Like, I don't see nothing wrong with the chain. It's perfectly fine. I'm like, no, but this is not supposed to coil this way. This is consistently kinking, and I was kind of showing them. And she was kind of like, okay, let me call somebody. Like, kind of dismissive. And I'm like, called someone else, was responsive, and kind of gave me the same spiel. Like, yo, this is how they're made, they're handmade, or whatever, da-da-da. And I'm like, no, that's not how that is. It's not supposed to kink this way. It's not supposed to coil in that manner. And this is not, it's not what I wanted and not what I paid for. He pulled down one of the displays with a bunch of Cubans on it, and he was trying to put me in another Cuban. Instead of showing me a Miami style Cuban link, he was doing an Italian style with the box lock, the Italian box lock without the button. I'm like, that's not it. Oh, but we could do this, this, and that, and it'll be a difference of this or that. It just wasn't going. They were trying to accommodate, but kind of slide me into something different. I'm like, this is not the same. At this point, can we, you know what? Let me just get a refund or whatever. Oh, da-da-da-da-da, we want to maintain your business, da-da-da-da. I was like, I was already turned off by this point, whether it be the lack of communication, the follow-up, the quality of that particular chain. Everything was just, the gut instinct was like, this is, you know what? No. And to add insult to injury, another jewelry place, it was actually CMG, had a better price, and they manufactured in-house. And it was over $800 to $1,000 cheaper at that time. It was a significant price difference. So they ended up calling up, and they told me to go up to their actual office, and I believe it was that person, Danny, that I met with, and he was trying to accommodate. He wasn't being rude or anything like that. And he also had a big parcel of Cuban links on the table in a bag, like they freshly got it. Yo, we got this, this, and that, but this is a little bit more expensive, and this, that, and the third. And then he was showing me more Italian styles and regular ones. And I was just like, you know what? Price-wise, I'm finding it cheaper, and this, this, and that. I want to go somewhere else. He was like, all right, you know, he gave me a printout of like what he got coming in. Let me earn your business, the whole spiel, da-da-da. And then there was another dude there that was rocking mad silver. I was already out the door, but this dude like picked up the chain and was kind of like, there's nothing wrong with this. It's like, I don't know, there's nothing wrong with this. You know, this is how they're made. Like, he made that same comment, kind of dismissive, and I'm like, word. So thanks for the refund, I'm out. That just, I don't know if dude worked there, I don't know what it was, but dude was like, real like, I'm like, all right, yo. I ended up going somewhere else. The chain was a lot cheaper, and that's how I led into the other people, right? So that was my story with Trax. It just left me turned off. Then I started shopping around and really investigating, and I ended up getting an amazing quality chain at a cheaper price from an actual source that made it in-house. Now, Trax is a very polarizing place. Some people love it, some people can't stand it. The prices are too high, this is shit quality, etc., etc. Everybody has a fucking comment, right? And I don't disagree with a lot of the comments, whether positive or negative. You're not gonna find a place with bigger inventory and more random shit, like random super shit that you can think of. They probably have it in stock, right? So it's a huge place. I understand from a business perspective, overhead, money, employees, rent in New York City, all that, and there has to be a markup and a premium. I get that, but I also gotta think from the consumer standpoint first, and I'm always trying to find the bigger, better deal with equal, if not better quality. So that brings us to this. In trolling to the website, I was looking at getting a tennis bracelet. I wanted a sapphire tennis bracelet, and they've been promoting this whole sapphire movement. And I'm like, all right, fuck it. Let me see what they're working with. They're doing nice sapphire joints. I saw one on the website, I believe it was around $2,000, and it was that multicolored Tekashi 6ix9ine kind of rainbow shit. I don't want that in a fucking tennis bracelet, right? But they did have a gradient blue one that was like over $1,000 and change more. So they have the online chat representative, which was super responsive. And I was like, yo, I want an item like this, but in light blue. Is this possible to price match? Without a blink, yeah, we can do it. I'm like, word? All right, let's do it. So it's gonna be 14 karat gold, 7.5 inches, light blue tennis bracelet, right? They're like, yeah, we can do it at that price. I'm like, dope, how long? They were like 3 to 4 weeks for the process after we send you the invoice or whatever, da. If you agree to it. I'm like, bet? Super easy. I mean, that shit took 10 minutes. Once I agreed, they sent the invoice, signed off the invoice. It ended up being around $2,300 with taxes and shipping and the whole shit. Okay, understood. Bang. Signed this shit off. I got the process working. Bet. Super quick. This was all in a matter of like 10 to 15 minutes max. Bet. I get a text message, I believe the next day, from the sales representative. I believe it's Amy. Shout out to you. I get a text message, would you like it like this? And sent me a video of like light blue. Do I want it in just a consistent color light blue? Or would I like a gradient aspect of light blue? I was like, oh, that, you know, the light blue transitional gradient aspect looks dope. If that's possible in the budget, absolutely, we'll get it done. Dope. Super responsive, very quick transaction. Send me the text, send me the video. Unbelievable. And now we come to me receiving this package in a week's time. No 2 to 3 weeks. In a week's time was the turnover for that. Incredible. I can't shit on them for that. I have to speak the truth on my experience, and that's what I'm here to do. In a week's time. Now we're gonna crack this shit open and see, because service was great, transaction was quick, and the parcel was delivered quick as fuck. FedEx, 2-day shipping. This might be a full redemption. I don't know. So I'm gonna slice the shit open. I also wanna make something clear too, which is something that I did specifically. As a content creator and influencer, when I'm purchasing an item, I don't go by stage name, I don't use emails, anything associated with that, so I don't get any preferential treatment. I put that out there, and I do that with anybody who doesn't know me, knows I don't go that aspect, I go a different route, so there is no preferential treatment. So this is the full-blown assumption that this is what you're going to get. Now, I got 2 things here, which is unusual. I got a box and an envelope. I have no idea what this is. Let's open the envelope, because I'm assuming that this is the bracelet. I don't know what this is. Okay. Maybe it's my receipts and stuff. They put it in a separate envelope? Okay. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, they put the receipt in a separate envelope. Okay, cool. So, here you go. Trax NYC paperwork. The appraisal, that's another thing. They send in these appraisals, which are great. A ton of people love the appraisals, especially when it comes to insurance. With them, you don't have to ask for it. They just add it automatically. So they have it here, 14 karat gold. They're showing the multicolored tennis bracelet, but it says light blue sapphire tennis bracelet, 17.30 grams, prong setting, 5.1 carat in gemstone, appraised at $38.40. There's the appraisal. Here's the information. Boom. Warranty extends 1 month from the date of purchase against all manufacturer defects. Here's the warranty information right there. And I'm assuming this is, oh no, not the receipt. So it's just a folder and a Trax pouch. Cool. All right, so let's take a look at the packaging. So it's a Trax sleeve. It's heavy duty. It's got that cushion covering. It's a better quality packaging than, you know, most standard ones that just come in a basic plastic one. So I'm gonna open this shit up. Let's take the, let you guys look at it first. It's probably a little difficult with the light and camera, but I'm gonna give you a close-up shot. And let me take off my glasses to see. All right, let me give this an inspection here. So they did do multicolored sapphires. It isn't necessarily gradient. I'm gonna be honest with you, and you guys will see it up close. It looks more of like a mixture of stones rather than a gradient, because gradient starts from light to a dark perspective. So this one kind of goes light, light, dark, 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 and then there's intermediate ones that are lighter that don't really transition into it. It's kind of a mixed, unusual style gradient. It doesn't look bad, but it's not really gradient. I'm gonna be honest with you, and you guys will see what I'm talking about when I do the up close shots. Looking at the detail of the actual bracelet itself, very nicely casted. Wells look on point. This is probably like white laser. Stamped 14 karat. The clasp, good click. Figure 8 clasp. Figure 8 clasp is a little weak, and you can tell it's not really gonna hold tension. Let me show you the bracelet up close. So if you kind of look at it, if we start from let's say this point, which might be the darker, you can see that it's not necessarily gradient, it's just light blue and dark blues. But you can see light, light, dark, light, dark, light, dark, 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 light, 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 a darker one there, and then it goes into light. Now, here is the lock on the bracelet, and what I'm noticing already is, put the figure eights on, they're not really snapping in, and this one is very weak, is a lot stronger, and they don't have a good snap in place. I'm just keeping it all the way 1000. This is gonna be something that I'm gonna have an issue with. I can squeeze it with a pair of pliers. That's not the point. The actual lock is very strong. The figure eights are not really. Yeah, this one figure eight. This one figure eight is super weak. Look at that. It doesn't even squeeze. Squeeze. Squeezing it. Done. So one figure eight clasp, it's not good. Looks like the little bulbs on the side should have come out a little bit more, so it actually has a snap in place. So it should have a little bit of round ball with a little bit of a depth in here, so when that figure eight comes through, it can fall into that hole and have a better snap, which in this case, it doesn't. But now let me give you the wrist profile. See that figure eight already? I'm gonna have to possibly address that. That figure eight already is just very weak. All in all, I like the bracelet. It was delivered very quickly. It was made very fast. You can kind of see that it was made a little bit fast. Yeah, look, it's not even, it doesn't even want to stay. And I'm here just to give you the honesty. I like the bracelet. I think it's nice. That figure eight clasp needs some work. All in all, it's not gradient as was mentioned. It's kind of all over the place. But I can see why. I just looked at it a little bit closer and I can see that one button comes out a little bit longer than the other. That's why one figure eight is catching more than another. And I'll show you guys, I'll try to show you guys up close. Button is coming out a little bit longer than the other, which is why it's not catching. Now this last test is with a diamond tester. These are not diamonds. It's not gonna hit off diamond, nothing like that. These are most likely synthetic sapphires, which a lot of people use because sapphires are a precious stone and they are expensive. When they are true sapphires, or at least graded as true sapphires, what the diamond tester will do is it will move. It will definitely move, not metal move. It will move like if you put it on a Rolex piece of glass that is made out of sapphire, the diamond tester will move because it tests as sapphire. So we'll just do this for shits and giggles and see. I don't think it will though. These are sapphire. Yep, now look what I'm showing you. Take a look at the screen and look at the diamond tester. Sorry, that was metal. You see that? See how the diamonds, you see how the diamond tester moves? You see how it's moving? These are sapphires. Not completely disappointed. I'm actually quite surprised. And I'm not turned off. I will reach out to them and see what they can do about extending that button like the other one. But I would say this is a redemption for Trax. I mean, you know, it's not perfect. It's what I asked for in a very, very quick manner. Sometimes maybe it's good to take a little more time so you wouldn't have any issues like we're experiencing. But other than that, I'm not gonna be a hater. Well done. I love y'all motherfuckers from the heart. Let me know your Trax NYC experience, and I hope you guys enjoyed this long fucking video with story time. I apologize for ranting, but I want to give you the real. You guys asked for it, and I brought it to you. I'll see y'all bitches next time. You know it is biggest in the game. Smooches.
What's fresh? Who's best? Wanna know who's gonna pass the test? Tell 'em. fly gun holder, money folder, Motorola, start tack when it's time to call back. For the rough, rugged, and raw way, this nigga Jay, it's a game, but he don't play. Hey, for all the chicks that got dead in the penthouse suite on top of my mom's crib. It's nonsense you never get in. It's nonsense that you would think that you would.